The next
Conference
skill
will now be recorded.
checklist. Can you guys remind me? What is it? Bedpan skill. All right. So the bedpan skill. This is the only skill on the state exam that your patient, your partner, your resident is actually expecting you. All right. You're not gonna tell them what's supposed to happen, but because they already know what's gonna happen. All right. Situation here. Whoever your partner is, they're gonna be placed on the bed by the proctor. All right. And they are. Hold on to the color. They are pressing the bell and asking to be toileted. Situation, she is not allowed to get off the bed, but she could do everything on the bed. You guys get that? She can move her arms, her legs, she can turn, she can do whatever she wants. The only thing she cannot do is get out of bed. So that means if she can't get out of bed and she's asking to be toileted, I have to offer her a bedpan. So for metric, requires every testing site to have two bedpans. The two bedpans we have here, this one you're not going to use. All right, I'll tell you why in a bit. So this is what we call as a standard bedpan. So that means we have to make sure that we properly position this. As you guys can see, there's a narrower part, there's a wider part. The narrower part is the one that rests on the person's butt cheeks. This one is the thing that is away from the person. It cannot touch the person's back or butt cheeks, right, or the person's hips. Okay, so they're gonna sit like this, and this is away. All right, so that means to put this underneath Miss Shaheen, she has to be able to raise her hips. All right, that's the case. If you're gonna be using this and you chose to use this, because you're not disallowed not to use this. Okay, the thing about this is, this one is only used if your partner on the state exam is unable to lift their hips. So on the state exam, every student is required by Prometric to be what? Healthy. So that means, can everybody move their hips?
Yeah.
Yes. So this, if you're going to use it, you have to know the principles on how to use it. So that means I got to turn her to her side, put this like this. The narrower part is the one that rests on the butt cheek. This is supposed to be away. You got to turn her first and put it like this, and then she got to sit. All right? But when I turn her, I got to make sure she's always safe. And how do you make sure a person is always safe on the bed when they're moving? They're always supposed to be which part of the bed? In the middle of the bed and the center of the bed. So when she turns, she's going to be on the side of the bed. Is that safe?
No.
So that means I got to make sure I make her come to me first, then I turn her. That's the only way I could make sure she's on the middle. And that's a lot of work. That means it will kill your time. That's why I don't want students to use this. All right? If you want to use it, you're so confident about your skill, feel free to do so. But here, we only want to make sure that you pass. Because is there a grade on the state exam? Technically, no, because it's just what? You either pass it or you fail it. There's no A, B, C, D here, right? You just pass it or to fail it. So that means use this. Don't use this. This is much easier. Just lift the hips, put it in. This, you got to turn her. To turn her, you got to make sure she's close to you, then turn her, right? But Prometric requires us to actually make sure this is available in the room. So I don't know who put it here. This one is supposed to be here. We're not using that. So what are the supplies needed here? For this, you'll need toiletries. You'll need that. You're going to need the toilet paper. You're going to need wipes. We're going to use 2 paper towels as hand wipes. All right? What else do you need? Gloves is necessary for this skill. All right? Gloves is necessary to manage the bedpan. Gloves is necessary to wash it as well. So that means gloving is required. Okay? So you're going to need the bedpan. You're going to need gloves. You're going to need toilet paper. You're going to need hand wipes, which we're going to use a paper towel as hand wipes. You're technically going to need a medium towel. The medium towel is used is only to cover the bedpan. No other use for that. You're going to need pads. Those are chucks. All right? Those are barriers. 1 pad on the bed so that if she messes up, she's not going to mess the bed. You're going to put it here on the overbed table. The overbed table technically is always clean. If you forget to put a barrier here, when you use this, at the end of the skill, you're supposed to clean it. That's why in most regional sites, they have a disinfectant. That's why you got to clean this. But we're not going to do that for every skill that I'm going to be using the overbed table. Because every time we use this, we're always going to be what? Covering it. So it doesn't add to my time to what? To clean it. Every second counts on skills. So for us, to clean it will add to our time. All right? So we're going to use a barrier every time we use the overbed table. There's a bunch load of barriers. When you're practicing, please don't dump it. It's not dirty. Or we're going to reuse it often. Okay? So this is bodily waste. That means can we wash the bedpan on the sink? No. So every time we wash it, it's gonna be on the commode. The commode inside the room is required by Prometric because that commode is technically where the toilet is. So the only time you're gonna use the sink is to get water. Water to wash it, water to rinse it. All right, you guys got that? There's only water you're gonna use there. You're not gonna wash anything there. Two scales you're gonna use the commode. One for draining this drainage bag and one for this scale. We're good? Yes? So that means you're gonna ask me to toilet you. Right? Good? You laugh too much, you gotta laugh with it. All right.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Ms. Shane. My name is Rodell. I will be your CNA for today. You rang the bell?
Yes.
What you need that?
Toilet.
Oh, okay. So just wash my hands, okay? I wash my hands. I gotta make sure you're you. All right, can I check your ID?
Yes.
So your name is Shane, your date of birth January 1st. All right, so I'm just gonna grab the bedpan and other supplies, and I'll be right back, okay? Of course, you know how to use the phone, but you called me. So bed is down, bed is locked. So for this skill, you close the curtain. All right, call me if you need me, okay? So I wash my hands for the second time, then I grab my supplies. First supply, you can stay right there. The barrier. This, hand wipes. So we got hand wipes now. Somebody took the toilet paper. Is there no toilet paper in the bathroom? All right, so let's assume this is the toilet paper. Oh no, wait, let's pause. Oh, grab one. Like two toilet paper. Guys,
This
this is the toilet
conference
paper.
will now be recorded.
When you guys watch this video, this is the toilet paper. All right, so make sure you know what your size is. Make sure you grab a medium towel. So all your towels and your linens are on this cabinet, all right? You got so much of this. That's why on every testing day, you will never run out. All right, make sure of that when they want this, right? You got small towels on this side. You gotta have medium towels on this side. You got large towels on that side. Then you have your bed linen changes here as well. Then you have Susie's clothes because you have a dressing skill. Okay, so all extra pillows are there, but this is the only pillows you're going to be needing for supported side lying skill. All right, so you're going to grab a medium towel. So supplies, two barriers, one for the bed, one for the table. All right. Once you use this, you can never put anything used back on the table. So by principle, any skill that you have used an item can never go back to the table. So please remember that concept. Because again, everything here technically are correlated to each and every skill as long as you know the rule. So you have the bedpan, you got one barrier for the table, one barrier to put on the bed. You got your hand wipe, it says hand wipe. Technically, this is the toilet roll. All right, then you have your box of gloves, then your medium towel to cover it. All right, so Ms. Shane, I'm back. Sorry for that delay. Are you still holding it? All right. All right, so Ms. Shane, for me not to hurt my back, I'm gonna raise the bed, okay? 1, 2, 3, up. I'm gonna put it back. So guys, buttons, the only buttons you'll be using is this and this. All right, you guys will see that. So on your break time, please play with the bed. All right, so you're familiar with the buttons. Raise the bed. Every bed is slow, it doesn't matter, it's always going to be slow. So what height are you supposed to put it? As long as it goes past your knee, not my knee, all right, then you're good. That means the height is good enough for the problem. All right. All right, Shane. Okay. So I know you're because again the situation is she's on the bed, she's able to move, she's only wearing a gown with no underpants. That means what? Which part of indirect care is priority? Privacy. Because if I take this and I pull it down, I just broke what? Privacy. Indirect care, I'll fail this skill. Right? So what do I do with that? I gotta put this in. So in this case, there's only one way to do it. All right, Shane, I'm gonna expose this side only, okay? Okay. Take this like that. All right. So On the count of three, Miss Shaheen, bend your legs, please. All right. Good. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna put this underneath your hip. Is that okay? So on the count of three, you're gonna raise your hip. I'm gonna put this on 1, 2, 3 up. All right. Good. All right. So again, make sure this is properly positioned. This resting on the butt cheeks. This is away. Only exposing this part, so I'm not breaking privacy. On the count of three, you're gonna raise your hips again. Again. Keep your patient, your partner's leg bent like this, because once you put this in, she has a tendency to what? Slide off of it. All right. This prevents that from happening, and of course, it helps her raise her hips. It's up to you. Your choice. 1, 2, 3 up. Right, close. After that is on, then you got to make sure the person is on a Fowler's position. Raise the person's head. Not high Fowler's. Regular Fowler's is good enough, because if you put the person in the high Fowler, she will what? Slide off the bed. Slide off the bed fan. All right, so Miss Shaheen, toilet paper. I know it's rough. Okay. All right, but please use it. All right, clean yourself. This is your hand wipe. Clean your hands. Okay. All the garbage, just dump it on the bed fan. Okay. So I'll come back in 5 minutes or whenever you ring the bell. Okay, you know the call, right? You know what to do, right? So what am I gonna do? I can't put her head down, but I have to make sure she's safe by lowering the bed. As soon as it goes past my knee, going down, then I should be fine. All right, I'll be right back. Okay. Call me when you're done, or I'll be back in 5 minutes. Okay. Then I verbalize that I'm doing hand hygiene, or I just sanitize my hands. You either say sanitize done, hand hygiene done. You don't need to actually sanitize it. You don't actually need to wash it. So I go here, and then the proctor tells me, Rodel, your patient is ringing. What do I do? I went outside. What do I do? What do I do? I step outside the room. What do I do?
Yes.
You finished? Oh, perfect. Did you clean yourself? All right, good. Did you throw everything in? Did you clean your hand? All right. Give me whatever's left. So technically, this is whatever's left. Put it back there. Verbalize hand hygiene. Put your clean pair of gloves. If you happen to wear gloves at the beginning of the skill, doesn't matter. It's not a fail. It's actually better. So you won't forget not to wear gloves all the time. All right. So Ms. Shaheen, I'm now going to take it off. All right. So earlier, what I did was I put the pad first, then I put the bed pad. So for prometric sake, their rule is very specific when you're taking it off. All right. On the real world, I'm going to expose you. Okay. So on the real world, I could just grab the bedpan and the pad and just yank it out. I could do that in the real world as long as she's able to lift her hips. But on Prometric's world, we are not allowed to do that. On Prometric's world, they have to go out one at a time. That means bedpan first, then pad second. You guys got that? But there's a way around that to make sure it is actually shorter. So that adds time. Pull it out, she sits. Then you got to pull it out again. That means you got to raise her hips again. To make this short and sweet is what we do. Grab the bedpan, grab the pad with another hand. Both hands are being used. So on the count of three, Ms. Shaheen, you're going to raise your hips. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Bedpan, pad. Did I follow the rule? Yes. Bedpan, pad. I followed the rule. So this cannot go back there. The only place you could put this is on top of the commode with the barrier on it. And the only use for this medium towel, with your gloves on, cover it. All right, Ms. Shaheen, this is going to go clean up, okay? Is that be okay?
Yes.
All right, so let me lower your bed. It goes past my knee. Dr. Hawa, I made a mistake. What do you think my mistake was? I literally made a mistake. Forgot about it.
No, at the beginning.
Gloving at the beginning is not required. So when I put the bedpan in the pad, what was her position? She was what? When I put the bedpan, she was what? What was your position, Shane? She was? You forgot? When I was putting the bedpan in, what was her position? She was what? Flat. So the rule of prometric is also very specific. You put the bedpan and the pad when the person is what? In a supine position, in a flat position. When you're taking it off, you're supposed to take it off when the person is also what? Flat. So Proctor Hawa, I made a mistake. So Proctor Hawa said, all right, I let it go. Because this is what, especially the regional proctors acknowledge, because I've been asking them a million times. I said, why don't you fail my student every time they acknowledge their mistakes, even though the mistakes are huge? Why would we fail them? Why would we mark it wrong? Because the rule is, the logic is, if you acknowledge a mistake, are you going to make it again? No, you acknowledge it already. So that means you're going to be aware about it. Okay, that's why it's so important to acknowledge mistakes, right? Good. So I got to make sure that she's in a flat position when we're putting it on and we're taking it off, right? So you got your call light, you know what to do, right? I'll be right back, okay? I'm just going to clean up. So I take this. Technically, this is garbage. I'm not going to throw it out. This is also put it away where I got it from. Technically, this is supposed to go on the second or third drawer. Let me just put it here. Still with my gloves on. This goes to the hamper. Don't throw it like that. Go around. Okay. Take this. The pad goes to trash. On the real world, on the prometric exam, just dump it. Right? The proctor will tell you not to dump it or to dump it. Take this, whatever's in here, dump it, turn on the faucet, and this applies to all reusable basins such as this. take soap, take a paper towel, take soap, wet it, you wash it, dump it, rinse it, dump it, close, paper towel, dry it, and store it. The bedpans are always placed either on the second or third drawer, wherever you go. So take the gloves, make sure you remember how to take it off, pinch, pull, roll, under, over, dump it. I'm not going to dump it, I'm going to reuse that. And for the third and last time, wash my hands. All right, Miss Shane, you good? You okay?
Yes.
Need anything? Are you comfortable?
Yes.
All right. So, can we do one more skill?
Yeah.
Perfect. Right, you might get on that. Okay, so I pause and I think. You know how to use the cobra, right?
Yes.
Bed is down, bed is locked, curtain is open. Then I pause and I think. Things you need to remember for this skill. Did I use gloves on post procedure? That means the cleanup. Fine. Right? Did I make sure that when I put the bedpan in the pad, I put the pad first, then the bedpan in a flat position? Did I make sure that when I left Cheyenne on the bed with the bedpan and the pad, that she was on a power's position? Did I make sure that when I took out the pad, that she was on a flat position? Right? Did I make sure, okay, that I gave her toiletries to help her clean and help her clean her hands as well? Right? Did I make sure that she cleaned her hands as well? I gotta ask those questions. Those are the necessary things that will make you pass. And of course, don't break privacy. Because prometric is very specific. Cheyenne is assumed to be wearing only a gown with no underpants. So don't just pull down the top sheet going down. Of course, did I make sure, okay, that I gave her toiletries to help her clean and help her clean her hands as well? Right? Did I make sure that she cleaned her hands as well? I gotta ask those questions. Those are the necessary things that will make you pass. And of course, don't break privacy. Because prometric is very specific. Cheyenne is assumed to be wearing only a gown with no underpants. So don't just pull down the top sheet going down. Right? Any question? Clarification? All right, who wants to perform? Anybody? I know it's a little bit lengthier than the first, but I'll guide you. Anybody?